Hello and welcome to this Redecentralize interview with Pablo Ojanguren, the founder and lead developer of SwellRT, an open source platform for real-time collaboration. Hi, Pablo.
Hi, Aya.
Would you like to tell me briefly, in your own words, what is SwellRT?
Well, SwellRT is a platform to develop web apps, enabling real-time collaboration in a very easy way for developers. That's, in one sentence, the aim of SwellRT.
Okay, and what kind of motivated you to work on this?
Okay, today I think that internet is a good platform for people to collaborate. So it has been the main objective of internet from the beginning. But the evolution of internet nowadays is to provide more and more real-time collaboration. It's true that today is the era of the real-time chatting apps.
Right.
WhatsApp, Slack is becoming more and more famous and mainstream. And also there are some basic tools like Google Docs for real-time collaboration, editing text or spreadsheets, and so. So I think that the trend is to have more and more collaboration tools in the day for any kind of user, any kind of need.
Yeah. Instead, I was going to say, because I guess before we used to have more kind of local storage, and we would kind of upload things to the internet or email things, and increasingly we're expecting everything to be instant, and and we're kind of storing data and information online, and we want to access it from everywhere. We want several people to be able to access the same document and update it, or I guess the same records, and be able to kind of write to the data storage. Is that the kind of thing you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the idea. The software and internet has been a transactional space until today, and now we are moving to this new instant access to the data, instant sharing of the data within people. No, for example, is very easy to see that for example, in Facebook, that has that some months ago you just see a new comment after it was written by your friend or whatever. But now you already see when your friend is writing a comment. You see a notification, that real-time notification that somebody is writing. So that means that there is a trend in the user experience, in the interaction between people, for a more and more real-time interaction.
Right, and real-time updating of what's actually happening.
Of course, of the data I'm generating. I want to be in the other's screens on real time.
Yeah. Okay, so I definitely see that. And what exactly is SwellRT providing in this space?
So yeah, the SwellRT, I think that tries to fill a gap in the way that software is developed nowadays, because as this way of doing software based on transactions with the classical databases, etc., it's very hard with that kind of software and tools to write new software with this kind of features, with real-time features. So SwellRT tries to ease a lot the way that real-time collaboration tool is built by developers providing a very easy way to provide the real-time stuff, and of course saving a lot of time to the developers, easy the development process, and avoid them to spend a lot of time with communication, networking problems, and synchronization of data, etc.
Yeah. And does it do that? So are you kind of providing an alternative storage mechanism, or like, you know, what is it that you get?
That's in fact, it's one of the main features of SwellRT is to provide a special storage system that enables this real-time between users. So, of course, that's one of the key parts of SwellRT system, is the real-time storage, in one word.
Okay, amazing. So, and really quickly, just because I've been meaning to ask this for ages, actually, why did you pick the name SwellRT?
Okay, that's a funny question. SwellRT has born inside another project that was called Wave, that was originally Google Wave, and then become an open source project named Apache Wave. Starting from that technology, original from Google, we have developed SwellRT. So Swell is like the group of waves coming from the ocean. So it's the evolution of wave, no? It's more than a wave. It's all the waves.
It's so many waves. There's a whole swell, and the RT is, I guess, real time, right?
It's real time, and it's now
real time wave swelling. Okay, brilliant. And how do you use? So it's based on Apache Wave. Have you done sort of different things to it, or is it kind of a continuation of that project, a fork of that project?
Yeah, it's basically a fork of the project that use the key technical aspects of Wave that were used just for one specific purpose in the original Wave project, but we have generalized them and we have reused them to provide general services, not to provide this platform for developers, not just a specific application. So we have got the technical, the core features of the Wave project, and we have used it to build SwellRT. Okay,
so when you say it's more general, what do you mean? Do you mean sort of like Google Wave was I guess mostly around text, real-time text updates, and I guess they've reused that within Google Docs?
Yeah, the thing is that Google Wave and Wave is a specific application.
Okay.
It was a kind of chat, real-time chat.
Right, so it's more about real-time chat, yeah.
So this application, this end-user application, is very specific. But the technology supporting that was really amazing. It's really amazing, in fact. And that's the part we have used for SwellRT. So we don't care about the specific chat-like communication application that was Wave. We just wanted to use the
amazing tech. Okay, so I've got two questions then following that. So I guess one is, what other applications can you use SwellRT for? And then two, what can you talk a bit more about the amazing technology and why it's amazing? But let's start with like so the how is it general, and what other kind of what can people use SwellRT for?
Okay, SwellRT is very easy to use. If you are developing a web application, you just have to import the library of SwellRT in your web app. It's like a JavaScript library, and then you will able to use our API. That is extremely easy to use. there are many few methods to call, and it allows to use JavaScript objects as real-time objects, a live objects. So a developer that changes a property in an object, the property will be propagated among all the users that are using the same object. So it's like to make the JavaScript objects a live thing, and is totally transparent for the developer. So,
okay. So any changes in one node is sort of propagated through the whole network.
Yes.
And things then automatically are updated and kept.
Of course, yes. So data is an object, and any part of the object, if it's changed by anyone using the object, will be automatically propagated among all the users using that object.
Okay, and then you said SwellRT is sort of more general than Google Wave. Like, what kind of applications could you build using it? Like, could you give me some, examples that end users might understand?
Yeah, for example, we think that one big space for SwellRT is all kind of applications for record management, where a company or organization has to handle records, and these records must be shared and must be edited by different people. So we provide two key features. One is this real-time collaborating on top of these records.
Mm-hmm.
That is very hard to implement with any other technology nowadays. And on the other hand, we provide to decentralize the storage of that of the records, because our server can be different instances of our server can be interconnected, and we can share objects, records between different servers.
Okay, so in that sense, so if I was maybe a set of teams or maybe units or departments of a hospital perhaps, and I was trying to kind of update patient records from different teams. So maybe there's a kind of someone updating the record from one team when they get the results from another team. Is the idea that SwellRT would be able to handle kind of the edits at the same time and also kind of in real time show that somebody's editing them? Or is it just sort of, it will capture all of the different changes and kind of combine them?
It's quite easy to understand. SwellRT will handle all the changes in real time from different users.
Yeah.
Seeing the same document or record, whatever you want to call it. It will merge all the changes in real time, and the changes will be propagated back to all the participants.
Right.
So
the system, everyone who's sort of involved in updating the data is also storing the data and has a copy.
Yeah, of course. Every participant in a single record will have a own copy in order to be efficient, because eventually you will need this local copy in order to see the current version, no? So it's true that the creator of the person who creates a record, we will store this record in a main server, and if there are more servers in the network, anyone from a different server will get a copy and will keep a copy of the document. But it's the master server who will keep the consistency of the document.
Okay. So putting the kind of technology aside, I mean, it sounds like it's really cool and it handles lots of kind of complexity, and just I think as it's kind of what's it called? It's called some kind of syncing. Or is it someone was telling me?
Yes.
Eventual consistency. And then what is Google Wave called it? Some kind of something syncing. I don't remember. Maybe you know. But if we think about end users, right? So how do they benefit from applications using this? Like what are the potential applications that exist? You mentioned record management. I guess essentially online text collaboration, basically like Google Docs or Etherpad is another example. Are there kind of other sort of end user cases that you?
For example, these examples of collaborative editing, like Google Docs or Etherpad, that can be achieved with SwellRT very easily. That's probably the most
common
example of real-time collaboration. No, that's and it's not it's very relevant because to build a powerful editor for real-time editing as Google Docs is not easy, and there are many few examples of products providing that technology nowadays yet. So SwellRT is able to provide that, and we are developing an application showing this potential of SwellRT. But apart from that iconic example, we can provide any kind of range of real-time interactions. So, for example, or also we can integrate these real-time editing features inside other applications. That's not an easy thing to do right now. You can integrate Google Docs in a company process or in a company tool. You cannot integrate Google Docs. Or maybe you could integrate Etherpad, but Etherpad is quite limited nowadays. No, it's obsolete. So that's the most iconic example.
So how is SwellRT very different from Etherpad?
Yes, in the sense that Etherpad is just for editing.
Right.
Text is specific for that purpose, and SwellRT it allows to manage data in real time in general. So
it's the generalization of Etherpad kind of like lets you edit, I guess specifically HTML on a page, but SwellRT does like the storage that's decentralized and kind of data handling. So you kind of mentioned that this is a really difficult problem. Like what's so difficult about it? Like if I'm a developer and I'm trying to add a way for, I'm writing a basic application for, I don't know, managing people's preferences for their TV or internet, and I want the customers to be able to update them. I want someone on the phone who's helping them to be able to like also update them at this, look at the record of the preference or the settings at the same time, whatever. Like, what is that difficult to build? Like, is that something that SwellRT addresses, and how? If you could just quickly tell me about that.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm following you exactly, but yeah, SwellRT can.
I guess my basic question is, what is complicated or difficult about building this kind of real-time updating applications at the moment?
Yeah, let's put an example. For a developer, it's very easy to code to program a chat, for example.
Yeah.
Because it uses a library to manage network communications, and it gets the input from the user interface with the sentence and then send it to the through the library, network library, sends to the other client, etc. So for a small example, for a small implementation, it's affordable for a developer.
Okay.
But what happens if your application uses massively real-time features? Imagine that your user interface, the screen of your application, all the components in your view are updated in real time. If you have to code the management of all this information in real time and build all the layers in your software to handle that, it becomes a huge effort. Maybe just for just one application. So that's where SwellRT helps. No, okay. If you want a lot of real-time features, interaction, reactive programming, live user interface, and you want a very easy way to manage that, not forgetting about all the problems behind it, synchronization, networking, blah, 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 then SwellRT is perfect for you because you won't have to worry about all that stuff.
Does all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
The hard work.
Yeah,
okay.
we do the hard work, of course.
Brilliant. Okay, so I guess maybe just one more question, which is, what's next? Kind of what is the future of SwellRT, and how can people get involved, or can they? What's your kind of message to the decentralization community?
So the aim of SwellRT is, apart from just being a real product, a real thing, is try to raise awareness about the separation of the personal data from the data of the application data. So SwellRT could bring eventually where applications stores the data of the users in a different place that is not managed, it's not controlled by the provider of the app or the service. And these storages will be SwellRT nodes. So that's the last implication of using SwellRT if it will be used massively. Okay, so even if we don't get that, because it's very, very ambitious, but we start raising this topic on internet, that will be very, very great for us. So that's the aim, just to start thinking in another way of developing applications, separating the data that the user, the personal data that requires privacy, and then let the users to control their own data from the data that is provided by their own application or service provider. That would be the main goal, or the topic goal of
the future of everyone using decentralized real-time collaboration capabilities. Okay.
In the short term, also we have we want to provide an Android library of the API and iOS library as well. So that could be used not just for web application, and also for mobile applications.
Right, and that, I guess, that would enable kind of chat as well, and other things, I guess, that you share between phones or between phones and web and places.
You could share. You could use for the same application in different devices. No? You could use the same server to provide the same application in different devices.
Okay.
either something.
Pablo, is there anything else that you would like to say before we finish?
Yeah, I would like to ask community to join us, to participate in the project, and to check out the website of SwellRT.org, and to get more information, or our GitHub project. And also to check out our demo.
You've got a demo, you've got a website, and all the code's on GitHub, and I'll add all the links to the website. So
yeah.
Amazing, Pablo. Thank you so much, and
thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.